we've had this hot topic with our practice members, and it keeps coming up and keeps coming up. And that is, how do I eat out at a restaurant and still make wiser food choices? Well, I have 5 tips for you on how to eat out at a restaurant. Tip number 1 is set your intentions ahead of time. By setting your intentions, you'll be setting yourself up for success. What this could look like is, I'm going to go out this evening and I'm going to enjoy the time I have with my friends and family. I'm going to be present. We're going to connect and laugh and just have a good time. I'm not going to let what I eat or drink determine whether or not I had a good time, because I'm in charge of my own happiness. That's what setting your intentions ahead of time may look like. Tip number 2 is plan ahead. By planning ahead, you are less likely to make impulse decisions. And let's face it, more times than not, impulse decision making pulls us off track and leads us down a road we would otherwise not want to be on. So planning ahead may look like reviewing the menu ahead of time and determining what you're going to eat long before you sit down. Then when you do sit down, you don't even need to be tempted by the other options on the menu, because you don't even need to open the menu. You already know your order. All right, tip number 3. Tip number 3 is eat ahead of time. This is great for people who have lots of different food sensitivities, or maybe you're eating with a group of people who, well, they don't eat in the same fashion that you do, and you've now been outvoted on where you're gonna go. So by eating ahead of time, you are in complete control of what it is you're eating. And then when you do get to that restaurant, most of them, even like your greasy truck stop kind of places, have something on there, even if it's just a tiny little dinner salad. Then you can order that, and you're not going to be left hungry, unsatisfied, or left at home. You get to participate in the event itself, and you are filled because you ate ahead of time. All right, tip number 4. Tip number 4 are the do's and don'ts. So with the do's, these are the things I want you to gravitate towards ordering. Things that are closest to whole food as possible, like fruits, vegetables, lean cut meats, whole grains such as rice, quinoa, oats. When it comes to beverages, opting for water or herbal teas will be the best bet. If they don't have herbal teas on their menu, bring a packet or 2 along with you. So you just need to order the water, the hot water, and you're good to go from there. The do nots, the things that I would like you to order less of or not at all. Number 1, deep fried foods. It doesn't even matter what oil they use. Deep fried foods are something that we should have little to, if possible, none of in our diet. From there, I would say when it comes to beverages, like juices, sodas, energy drinks, alcoholic beverages, those kinds of things, they're filled with lots of sugar in there. So maybe not the wisest choice. If you are wanting to order an alcoholic beverage, then make the best choice possible with that. Order the better wines. When it comes to the mixed drinks, what it's mixed with is what's going to make the biggest difference in that case. So if you can do it with more like tonic water, things like that, and not refrain from using the sodas, the juices, the syrups. So ordering it neat or on the rocks straight up will be your best bet in those cases. And then last but not least is soups, condiments, and sauces. This one's particularly true for people who have more food sensitivities. Within those types of things, you're likely to get undisclosed glutens, dairy, soy, artificial dyes, things that are just not even like they're chemically altered things within that. I mean, let's think about it, right? Restaurants or cooking for mass amounts of people, oftentimes for multiple meals, they're more concerned, they have a budget to purchase things within, so they're not concerned with whether or not it has preservatives or artificial ingredients, soy, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. If you are ordering and you do want to have a dressing, oil and vinegar are great options, or what I like to do is bring my own. So I keep little glass jars of spices that I've already finished. I wash them and then I make my own dressings. So they're just little bottles, they're not really big, and I can take that with me and I can have my own and I know exactly what's in that dressing. All right, tip number 5 is allow yourself to enjoy the experience. All too often, I come across people who are very diligent about their health or fearful about their health, and they are focused on being healthy and clean, and therefore they avoid any social things where there's going to be food. I can respect where you're coming from with that in mind. However, it is not wise to sacrifice one part of our health, in this case, social and relationships, to try and benefit another part of our health, in this case, diet, physical health. It doesn't work that way. We need to look for the balance. That's why I gave you the other tips ahead of time, is if you are that person who has lots of sensitivities or really cautious about what you put into your body, and cautious in a healthy way, I mean that in a healthy way, then you know that you can now eat ahead of time or plan ahead of time, set your intentions, you know what kinds of things to steer away from. So if you have sensitivities, you know that, hey, I probably should just bring my own dressings, things along those lines. Allow yourself to have a good time. Social and relationships are a valuable part of overall health. And ultimately, isn't that what we all want, is overall optimal health? All right, guys, if you're not already part of our Facebook community, use the link in the description to join our Thrive in Health and Wellness Facebook group. We post 6 out of the 7 days a week, and so you can get more education stuff, recipes, tips, lots of other good stuff on there. So if you're not a part of the group, I encourage you to join. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. Comment below and let me know what tips and tricks you may have for eating out, because again, we always want to learn from other people. We can't possibly know it all. Have a good rest of your night, guys.